So I recorded this part ahead of time, but something happened called apparently my microphone was muted the entire time? Yeah, yeah. So congratulations, you get to hear me doing review commentary on this part. Welcome to Chapter 12, Birds of a Feather. I'm Mithril Zenith. This is Fire Emblem 7 0 base stats. This mission was a doozy. You might wonder, well, if you messed up, why don't you just re-record it? You're gonna see why in a minute. If you know this mission, you know what to expect, and you know that, especially on Hector hard mode, and having 0 units with stats outside of Matthew and technically Hector, because they didn't really train up Dorcas much, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a lot rougher for Hector's team because all the Pegasus Knights swarm him. Eliwood's team is fine. They can just sit down south and have Eliwood mountain tank bandits, which I think is what I do. But yeah, so basically, story goes, Hector's trying to rush to Eliwood's aids. People of Santa Ruz aren't really helping him, and Eliwood's being attacked by bandits. Congratulations. Oswin's chastising Hector. Congratulations. But he's coming too. Matthew, bring Sarah and follow along. You'll slow us down. You're not coming with us. About that, I think Matthew and Sarah are actually the only competent people in your party. So as you can already see, this map kinda sucks. We have Rebecca, Lowen, who's for some reason level 2, Bartray, who's also level 2, Oswin, who's level 9. Now, I don't understand this, but why the heck is Oswin level 9? It makes no sense to me. But hey, I'm not the one who made the game. Sarah is doing alright. Matthew's great. Dorcas is present. Eliwood, at least he has a unbreakable rapier, so that's something. Yeah, that 10 crit on the rapier will prove pretty valuable. This store only has vulneraries, so it's not really worthwhile. Marcus. He's a paladin with 1 hit point. The only thing he has going for him, which admittedly is quite a bit, is that Silver Lance. Silver Lance can be pretty good, because 14 might is pretty good, turns out. Yeah, so we're gonna have Marcus visit this village up here. No need to conceal that we have some experience with battle. I've written down my techniques in a book. So here we get a secret book, which gives us +2 skill. Not the most useful of stat boosting items, but it's there. It's not bad. We could definitely find the use for it, since nobody has any skill. Yeah, these Pegasus Knights, there's a lot of them. They're all very aggressive, and look at those stats, they all have like 7 strength, too. Zigin the Fighter is a beast. Just no other way to put it, he wrecks face. The other brigands are pretty alright. That archer in the middle of the map's gonna be annoying. I just did that check there to see if there were any items that I could take. Turns out there weren't. We have to route. Yeah, good luck with that. As you can see, these Pegasus Knights one-shot Hector pretty handily. And that was on a forest, too. So we have to figure out a way to protect Hector, Sarah, and Oswin while trying to feed them experience and not giving everything to Matthew, because Matthew's at the point where he's not getting much experience. Plus, he can't promote immediately at 30. He kind of needs to get an item that we don't get until after we start getting Heaven Seals. So he's going to be promoting later than Lyn, Hector, or Eliwood. He's going to, yeah. Plus, once he promotes, he doesn't get the ability to steal anymore, so I need to be careful of that. So I make this weird pattern here so Matthew can tank at the front, and the rest of them all are pretty safe. Beyond that, I'm a little worried about that Pegasus Knight right there. But I figure if I put my units back, it should be fine. That bandit's gonna move forward, but... yeah. I figure that the best bet I can have is moving people onto mountains and just staying clear of enemy unit range, enemy attack range. So that's about where I move. Enemy phase, and some of these bandits are aggressive. Matthew can take them on, no problem. I'm a little upset that he got a crit right there, because he would have left him with 2 hit points, but whatever. Matthew, luckily, right here can leave this Peg Knight with only 2 hit points. As you can see, though, he levels up. Level 19 Matthew is getting a point of strength. I remember being a little upset because that meant that he would kill all the Pegasus Knights and not leave them barely alive for Hector to pick up, but whatever. Speaking of Hector picking one up, there's that. Bring Sarah down, heal up Matthew a bit. He needs it. He's doing his best, and he needs all the help he can get. Gonna leave him right there. Move down Matthew. Meanwhile, I take a look at these Pegasus Knights for some reason. I forget why. Yeah, that one's annoying. It hasn't moved. That guy's annoying, but I can take care of it. Here's where we enter the RNG manipulation phase. I don't think we ever leave it. We figure, okay, so he has a not great hit rate because he's a bandit. He will double Ellawood, but on that mountain, Ellawood should be fine. It's like a 38% chance to get hit. So we just need to... we leave Rebecca with movement so we can easily manipulate if needs be. Turns out needs be. So, there we go. Let's try that again. Yeah, Ellawood is going to be doing that pretty much all mission. Oh, that second bandit decides to join the fray. Matthew's clearing out Pegasus Knights. Everything seems fine. Everything's fine. Nothing's going wrong at all. At least I think nothing's going wrong yet. Yeah, the mercenary is moving forward, but no one else is. It's fine. It's fine. So I send out Matthew. Do I send out Matthew? I forget what I do exactly. No, I just retreat and I let the mercenary come to me. That's what I do. I check my other units. Check enemy range just to make sure. Okay, I'll be safe. And now I try to figure out what the heck to do. And how to obliterate this guy. Okay, Silver Lance does 10 damage. And then guarantees that Marcus dies. Not Matthew. Matthew's on the brain. So I figure, okay, Ellawood might need to get a crit off this. I just want to add up the chip damage I can get in first. I throw with Bartray here because he has a hand axe and Dorcas doesn't. Even though I should really probably just be using Dorcas. Manipulate a little bit to get a hit. Maybe it takes a little bit longer to get that hit. But we get it. Rebecca gets her chips in. And then I stop and think, okay, what is going to happen? What do I have to do? I feel like I need to get a crit, because, yeah, Lowen is not going to dodge 261s. I don't want to try to do that. Consequently, Conversely, I could just have Marcus get the kill, but I really don't want that to happen, as Marcus has no growths and is already a paladin. So I just figure, you know, let's try and get Eliwood the kill with a crit. I think I'm thinking about something else, like maybe if I just do a trade loop, giving Dorcas the hand axe. But no, I decided against it, and I'm just like, it'll be easier to farm up a 10% crit than it is to do all that trade looping just to give a little bit more experience to Lowen and Dorcas. Besides, Eliwood's force deployed on most maps, I think. I know this is Hector mode, but I'm pretty sure he's force deployed on several maps at least, so I might as well strengthen him up. There we go, I get that crit. Eliwood doesn't quite level up, but that's fine. I just rearrange everyone a little bit. Do I? Yeah, I begin to reconsider using Bartray, because Dorcas at least has a normal level up, and Bartray doesn't. They're both kind of mediocre units anyway, being axe wielders that only go to warriors, not berserkers, because berserkers are just so much better, because they have a massive base hit chance, even though they're axe locked, and warriors, all they get is bows, which only helps against units that they could already deal with pretty well in the first place, Pegasus Knights and Wyvern Knights. So Matthew beats up on this mercenary, and I think this is about when I realize I have a problem, because the boss starts moving forward, all these Pegasus Knights start moving forward, that brigand starts moving forward. Yeah, and that guy decided to move south, away from all the mountains, and in range safely of the Pegasus Knight. So what can I do but retreat? Run away, run away. It's the best decision. And that's what I do. I figure, okay, best place to put Eliwood would probably be in that mountain there. As you'll quickly see, none of this really ends up mattering, for reasons I'll get into later. But yeah, I'm stuck on what to do. Because, as you've seen, Hector gets one-shot by these Pegasus Knights. Oswin and Sarah definitely get one-shot by these Pegasus Knights. So Matthew's our only hope, but Matthew can't be everywhere at once. And the Pegasus Knights, unfortunately, can fly over that little ridge. They can't fly through the castle, because that's a no unit allowed square. But they can fly over the peak to the north, so I'm really thinking, maybe can Sarah take a hit? Can Hector take a hit? Maybe it's best to leave them here. Maybe I can do some sort of rescue shenanigan and get everyone to safety. But unfortunately, I can only rescue Sarah because Oswin's too heavy. And in fact, Oswin could rescue Hector, but I'm not sure I want to do that because Hector's better than Oswin at surviving. Not only because of weapon type, but because he actually has some stats. I realize I made a mistake, that no one can really survive here. So let's see what the enemy does. Oh, they hit Eliwood. So before I realized my mistake, actually I made another mistake and they loaded a save state too early. I figure, is there any better way I can do this? Maybe I need to take out that Pegasus Knight. And maybe if I do that, I can take out this mercenary and that. And then I realize, no, wait. It still doesn't work. Make a mistake. I totally did not mean to rescue Sarah right there. So I do the same action as I did last time. Yeah, Hector can't one-shot him with a hand axe. He can with a wolf bale. So I get prepared to RNG manipulate, but Hector's a boss and kills him first try. Wonderful. So now, Hector has to survive that one Pegasus Knight. Doesn't seem too bad, right? And then I realize, oh, that brigand has a hand axe. That's gonna come into play later, too. That hand axe brigand is the final boss, as far as I'm concerned, of this stage. I mean, the boss is actually pretty threatening, too, and moves on his own for some reason. Even though I've not moved a single inch forward, maybe it's me grabbing the village that makes him move? No, he didn't move that turn either. I don't know. The AI makes some weird decisions. I'm really thinking I've loaded an earlier state because I'm like, maybe there was something else I could have done. Everything replays itself pretty well, about the same. Okay, now I think maybe what I need to do is attack that mercenary. That way he's not behind me. And then I think about that archer right there. So I can't move anyone else forward aside from Matthew. But Matthew will draw out the archer by standing there. Which is also not exactly what I want to have happen. Matthew gets the crit, I'm okay with that. So we decide, okay, what else can we do? There was probably something I could have done with rescuing Matthew and dropping him behind just so the archer wouldn't charge forward, but I didn't think of that at this time. So yeah, be prepared for me feeling like I have to move out, though not totally sure if that's going to go anywhere. I take some of Matthew's stuff with Sarah, because, I mean, he doesn't need a full inventory. And the usual happens. I figure, you know, let's give Dorcas the hand axe. Let's start manipulating with him. This all gets pretty interesting, pretty monotonous, if I do say so myself. But Dorcas gets hit. Rebecca can get that hit. I start wondering why he has 11 HP this time instead of 12, and then I remember, oh wait, Dorcas actually has a point of strength. So that's not terrible. Here comes the manipulation for the crit. I'm stopping and thinking about the possibility of... Yeah, I accidentally reloaded there, I think. Actually, no. I thought about the possibility, since I'm doing more damage, of just getting... trying to do something to get low on some experience, but I decided against it because, you know, it's just so much easier to just give Eliwood the experience, and it's not like he won't need it anyway. It may only be 10%, but it is still... 10% still a pretty good hit rate, crit rate. Yeah, I get a normal hit, I think about just using him, and think about going around and doing something crazy with Marcus, and then it's like, well, that Brigand's range is that, plus the Pegasus Knight's range, that's just not gonna work out. So I go back and decide, you know, let's just get that crit. Pretty long time spent thinking about that, but yeah, it's what I was thinking about. There we go, there's the crit. I realize, wait a second, why does that guy have shorter range? But that's because of the fort. This guy I talked to because I'm not doing anything else. Might as well see what's in the house. Gets a little backstory on Marcus Ferre, which I didn't get initially because I started with Ellawood, not with Hector. I realized, yeah, that archer attacking kind of creates a problem. Because there's kind of a lot of enemies now. And they're all right there. Plus, Matthew can't one-round the archer without getting a crit. I forget how much longer I still debate here. But I end up resetting the level and just trying again, trying a completely different strategy. I'm only leaving this in, first of all, because I want to show the whole episode that I recorded anyway, but second of all, so you know, yeah, this is what I tried to do, and this is how it failed, but that's also where I got the strategies that I don't spend any time thinking about and just speed through as well, because it's a fine balance of, this almost worked, if only there weren't 3 Pegasus Knights, and a hand axe guy, and an archer. Yeah, we reset. Skip past all the stuff. Man, I am like so exhausted. I've been going back to school and it's been killer with how long of a commute I have to make, but whatever. Yeah, I'm considering my options here. I see, okay, that bandit is that range. Pegasus Knight I need to block. That archer, do I want to just lure out that archer right now? I don't know. I decide, sure, let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? I die and reset? Yeah. So we back everyone up, we decide, yeah, that looks pretty good. No one really is in danger of anything. So let's... I look around the rest of the map, trying to figure out where all those extra Pegasus Knights came from. But I decide, you know what, let's just, get Ellawood in position to... I just realized, I have been calling him Ellawood, right? My brain almost called him Roy there, and I hope I haven't been calling him Roy. Yeah. Matthew actually leaves that guy at 2 hit points instead of killing him, which is nice. Gets a level up even though he didn't get a kill. He doesn't get strength, but he gets everything else, which I'm more happy about than his previous level. But then I stop and think, this is a lot of enemies. And that mercenary is going to be coming in next turn. And I can't exactly just ping down everyone, because that Pegasus Knight's there. Yeah, it's a turn 2 really bad position. And so I just decide, you know what, screw it. I'll do what I can, but if I don't feel like I have any hope, I'm just gonna reset. I'm just thinking here right now, do I need to kill the archer? Do I kill the Pegasus Knight? Do I try to kill the bandit instead? For some reason I'm going after this Pegasus Knight, because I think that I can run away from the archer. I don't know why I think that, because I absolutely can't. In fact, the archer has perfect coverage of the area. I decide to see if Sarah or if Hector will die. I figure they probably will, because he has 5 speed. And yeah, so I think I reset here as well, realizing that I made a horrible mistake. Before I do that, I try to... well, I think about trying to run to the forest. Because, I mean, maybe that'll buy me a turn. And then I realize, oh wait, Oswin and Hector are not safe at all. Why am I even doing this? I just might as well just charge in and See how horrible that ends up being. I think about it, I realize, yeah, that mercenary's right there, and he doesn't even need to attack because a bandit can do it. So let's just restart the chapter again! This is try number 3 from the very beginning. Okay, I already know what Eliwood's group is doing. There's not really too much I can change with them that'll affect Hector within 3 turns. Kind of important that I keep Hector's group alive. I try to trade with Bartray, end up trading with everyone but Bartray. Yeah. This is about how flustered I was about this map. Things weren't exactly going as I had hoped they were. So I think that archer doesn't move until I enter his range. So what if I just don't enter that archer's attack range? How far can I get without triggering the archer? I end up making roughly the same sort of shape that I do my first run. These might be in slightly different positions, but whatever. Get a level up. Not quite as good as the level up previous, but you know what? He gets speed. I just want to end this map. I'll take it. So that creates some problems, I think. And then I realize, wait, Hector can get that. I realize he has a 1% crit, so I'm like, well, is there anyone else who could benefit from a free critical immediately without having to attack? Because Matthew can't charge out and attack that Pegasus Knight because he doesn't have enough range to move, especially with that bandit in front of him. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just use that free critical to guarantee I kill that guy without having to manipulate the RNG. Oswin has a javelin. He could one-shot that guy with a javelin. Iron Lance is just easier because it hits more often. I said do that instead. Think about trying to manipulate. I think Oswin can manipulate, so yes he can, I do that. Bandit down, Peg Knight down. We have some more problems, especially since that mercenary is going to attack us. That archer isn't until we enter his range, but the mercenary is sharing a range with the archer right now thanks to positioning. So we just step forward a little bit because I think, well, I need to deal with that archer eventually. Since I've dealt with everything else, and I can deal with the Pegasus Knight, I might as well draw him out now. I retreat everyone, I leave Rebecca open for RNG manipulation, and end the turn. Mercenary versus Matthew, Matthew always wins. Eliwood versus Bandit, Eliwood doesn't win. So let's manipulate that so he does win. Turns out I made things worse because he got hit the first attack. Okay, Eliwood survives. I'm okay with this. Other bandit is moving forward, but whatever. Matthew is taking a hit, but I kind of figured. This is the point when I realized maybe getting that strength level up would have been nice, actually, to deal with the Pegasus Knights, just because I'd have one fewer enemy to deal with. I realized Matthew's not going to be able to kill that archer himself without a crit, so I kind of need to just farm up for a crit. Yeah, I've been farming 10% crits with Eliwood, but I need to farm up a 4% crit with Matthew. I find some manipulation point, and apparently I instantly get that crit that I wanted. Don't even have to wait for it. So now I have to think, well, how do I take care of this mercenary? Do I even have enough strength to do it? Yes, Hector barely does, with his wolf bale. He gets a miss. Don't manipulate. I don't know why I go all the way to the left corner, but whatever. Hector gets the kill. Oswin gets the kill. Everyone's happy, right? Sure. Yeah. Pegasus Knight is gonna crash onto the rocks. That is Matthew. And yeah, everyone else is going to be okay. I feel like, staying in that Hector as soon as the boss and all the Pegonites start swarming it isn't the best idea, probably. So I start moving everyone else out. Meanwhile, this is the usual setup, once again, to give Eliwood this kill this turn on that bandit. I try to manipulate, doesn't go well. It takes me longer to farm up the 48% hit for Dorcas here than it did for me to farm up a 4% crit for Matthew. Just goes to show who really is giving it their all, and who's kind of lackluster, staying by the sidelines. Yeah. But Dorcas eventually coin flips correctly, and now it's time for Hector to get the crit. Eliwood to get the crit. Wow. I'm calling him Hector now? Maybe that was the problem. Eliwood gets the crit first try, no need to manipulate even more. I think, what if I just move him so he stays on the mountain? And then I remember that rescue's a thing. And so I'm like, hey, Eliwood, would you like a lift? And cavalry are the best rescuers. I think this is what Marcus is going to be doing. He's not going to be fighting, he's going to be rescuing. And then he might fight a little bit with his silver lance. I begin to realize my mistake, as that bandit is on a peak. Eliwood doesn't care, because he still hits his 58 anyway, but that's going to prove more difficult in the future. That is a horrible level up. Eliwood needs some stats to be reasonable, preferably speed. I realize he's on the peak, but okay. Skill, speed, res, hit points, I'll take it. Because at least with plus speed, he won't get doubled quite as easily. And this bandit comes down on Matthew, who leaves him at 3 hit points. Because apparently not all these Pegasus Knights are uniform. Yeah, that creates some interesting conundrums in the future. I begin thinking, okay, well, I've made this guy not be quite as far up as he usually is. Maybe I can retreat successfully. Sarah needs to heal him so he won't die. And I realize, wait, I can't put Sarah in that position because I need Oswin to be in that position. You might be noticing I'm forgetting something. But again, we'll get to that later. So I think, and I'm like, you know what? Matthew can survive if he just uses a vulnerary. I don't need to have Sarah heal in this turn. So I don't. I have Sarah move over there, I have Oswin rescue her because Oswin can't quite get to the far corner because of his stubby little knight legs and heavy armor. And I realize, okay, so Hector can stay there. He has a decent chance of avoiding the Pegasus Knight. It's not great, but it's decent. Meanwhile, let's manipulate something for Eliwood. And I think, well, why not just rescue him back? And if I'm rescuing him back, I might as well try to attack anyway. But do I? I forget. No, I don't. No, because I'm like, well, to get my Cavaliers back in the proper position, I need to have Eliwood move a little bit closer. There we go, now everyone's safely out of the way. No one has to have any problems. I'm going to leave Bartre there for manipulation. And here comes the manipulation grind. So that Pegasus Knight surprises me by going back and deciding to heal. I probably could have used that to my advantage, but I think I saved over my previous file anyway. Anyway, that Pegasus Knight charges to its doom. And this one has a 75% hit chance and doubles, I believe. Maybe it doesn't. So, Ike... Why did I call him Ike now? What the heck? Turns out I can't speak. Yeah, Eliwood needs to dodge a double 34. He gets a crit there, which I'm happy about, but okay. Matthew kill that bandit. Eliwood needs to dodge a double 34, and Hector needs to dodge what I assume to be a double 75. Or dodge a 75 and hit a 6% crit. One of those two needs to happen. And so, now begins the grind of just trying to get that situation right. Not here, not now. Yeah. They're gonna see that a lot. Not here, not now. Get that right, get that right. Hector gets the 6% crit, so I'm really happy. I'm about to celebrate. And then guess what I forgot about? Mr. Hand Axe Bandit. I really am upset about this. But realizing that Osmond's already level 9, I'm probably not going to be using him as a unit. I can sack him because even though it's technically possible, I really don't want to farm for an extra double 79 avoidance. That just is not something I want to do. So I'm like, look, I'll see if I can do this mission, this run. If I can, wonderful. If not, whatever. Oswin might just have to take one for the team at this rate. So yeah, we have Sarah heal up Matthew, so Matthew can charge in and not be afraid of dying to the Pegasus Knight if he decides to come back out of healing, which I don't think he ever does until he's almost at full hit points, but I don't realize that until a couple turns in. Hector gets the kill, gets revenge for Oswin, and now once again it's Eliwood's team versus a single bandit. And I'm very scared for Eliwood's team, actually, because that Pegasus Knight being on that fort means that it's in range of most of the team, so I really have to kill this bandit right now. I have to hope that the Pegasus Knight doesn't come down and end me, because it just decides to... Okay, I reload, I decide, you know what, I'm going to be farming for a crit anyway, I might as well just farm for it here. That way the avoid of the mountain doesn't matter, and I'm out of range of the Peg Knight. Or so I think. Whatever. I just realized, you know what, I can probably just rescue. Doesn't really matter. Maybe I should get some experience on Dorcas. It's a 50% rate. Not totally sure I want to farm it, but I get it anyway. Dorcas gets some speed and skill, so I'm okay with that. And now it's back to... Wait, I realize. I knock him down to 3 hit points. I could either get the crit like I do there, or get a normal hit and let Lowen get the kill. But I just decided to leave it at the crit because I got it right there. And yeah. Everyone's safe from that Pegasus Knight should he decide to move. And it's the enemy phase. Heals for 3. Boss moves forward. This Peg Knight moves forward and begins to be quite annoying. All the while I'm thinking, okay, so the AI is healing that Pegasus Knight. I don't know what the threshold is before it starts moving again, but I figure it's probably not moving yet until it gets at least half back. Matthew can basically solo this boss no problem. I really don't want to have Matthew solo the boss, because I really want to give Hector that experience, but I realize that I might have to do that anyway, so I just get prepared for the worst. What I need to do is kill this Pegasus Knight, who I guess might flee to a different fort if there is one available to heal at. There might not be. But rather than taking that chance, I'm just gonna have Matthew take down that bandit. Take down the Peg Knight. Everyone's fine. Debating about it. Looking at the map, seeing if there's a better position for it, but yeah. So that's what I do. Zagan's gonna hit Matthew upside the head. And I think about, well, what if I take the sword off Matthew and then Matthew can just tank the bandit? My initial plan here being, if I can lure the bandit into only being able to attack Matthew, I can stick Matthew in a forest, and the boss won't be able to kill him if he can't hit him. Even though Matthew loses the weapon triangle bonus, he still has really high avoid thanks to his good speed and luck, and the forest tile, and the boss having a steel axe. Yeah, so I decide maybe that's the plan. Maybe I can weaken the boss with Matthew a little bit. Matthew, yeah, maybe that's the plan. Maybe I take things back and steal his sword from him. I give Hector that kill because I can. Because I realize that Pegasus Knight's not going to be moving. So, yeah, this is the point where I drop Matthew's sword, because I figure, well, I want to give experience to Hector. Not really fully thinking through my plan, but, you know, that's what I do. So now I'm thinking, okay, what if I lure out a Pegasus Knight with Dorcas? That way I can just kill her with Rebecca or something. Everything's fine. Yeah, see? Matthew can dodge that axe. And then I realize that it's a 78 that Dorcas needs to dodge twice. I'm pretty sure. These Pegasus Knights have high speed, but they also have low con, so their iron lances are slowing them down. I don't know how much they're slowing them down by. But yeah, so right now at this point, I'm trying to farm for that dodge, and then I realize, you know what, that's stupid. I just want to get done with this level. Why am I farming for a really low chance thing that doesn't even help me that much? Because it's not like that Peg Knight moves anyway. So I just let Matthew do his thing. I realize that without Matthew blocking, that bandit can hit all the corners. So I think, okay, shoot, maybe there's a way that I can get somewhere where he can't hit. The forests. But I can't get to the forests yet. So I need to move closer to them. So I'll have Matthew block him for one more turn, thinking he's just gonna stand there and swing. That Pegasus Knight's gonna come out eventually, but whatever. My thought is that I can lure out the boss, lure out Zagan, and that everything's gonna be okay. So I save here, I'm like, okay, Dorcas, you can lure that guy out because it's actually necessary for my plan to work. And here we go. Turns out that Peg Knight still isn't moving, but the boss, smart as he is, comes down on the south side of Matthew, so Hector and Sarah have no escape. So he covers the entirety of their move options of the last, like, 2 turns. So yeah, I just decide, screw it, Matthew needs to kill this guy. I'm not gonna have Matthew drop his sword. Oh wait, but I don't have that save state anymore. So I'm just going to have Matthew take his sword back from Hector, and just fight him in the corner. There we go. Matthew gets some hits in. Matthew can just kill this boss one cycle, no problem. So I'm thinking of a way to give Hector at least some experience. Figure the best way to do that is just throw a hand axe. So that's what I do. It's a bit long of a process considering Hector also happens to be holding Sarah. But it's the best I can do to give our blue-haired friend at least some experience before Matthew takes it all. Matthew gets a full level up, gets more defense and more speed. I'm happy with this. That Pegasus Knight's gonna be coming out to bear at any moment now. So why not? What the heck? Let's just move forward and try to take him on. And I realize, okay, let's lure him out with Matthew, that way I don't have to roll on Dorcas. And now I'm thinking, well, is there a way to give Hector that Pegasus Knight experience? Because I'm really touchy about Matthew hogging all the experience now, being level 21, and it's not like the rest of my units have base stats, even, to fall back on. So I'm like, okay, what if I just back up, back you up, and now if the Pegasus Knight just moves forward, I can be fine. And now I realize something magical. Hector survives being in close combat with this Pegasus Knight. And then I realize that's because the Pegasus Knight is getting weighed down so much by that Iron Lance that she can't even carry. But I'd already moved Hector that turn, so yeah. So I do the little switcheroo dropperoo. Pegasus Knight will now attack Hector, who will survive, almost guaranteed, barring that 1% crit. Hector can heal up just in case. And downs the Pegasus Knight himself. Gets his strength res level up. I'm not quite okay with that. I figure he can do a little more. He's not going to be getting many more level ups before he's really needed. So I might as well try farming for something better. Speed, def, res, luck, hit points. Seems good. Okay. Now the map only has 3 units left, and none of them will move unless I move into their attack ranges. So I figure, okay, let's try the old Dorcas lure again. Maybe I can make things easier by stopping at this house. This girl explains support conversations to us. I realize, yeah, maybe I should have been farming support this entire time. Oops, whatever. But yeah, so being on that house, there should hopefully be some benefit. Bring it down to a 68% chance instead of a 78%. So yeah, let's manip. There's the dodge. I'm surprised, this time I'm really surprised. Wait, she didn't double? And then I realized, yeah, that takes her speed down to an effective 4. So with 1 speed, I can become immune to getting doubled by at least these Peg Knights. Rebecca gets some chip damage in. I'm not really going to be using her because Will is so much better already, and Wrath is so much better already. I figure I might use Dorcas a little bit, so I might as well give him a little experience. Speed and strength are fine. And now we have the wonderful opportunity for 2 enemies that don't move until we enter their attack range. I also want to check out what's in that armory, because if it's any useful weapon, I really want to grab it now, because, yeah, weapons don't decrease in... Weapons without durability are going to be good forever. Stop at this house because it gives me more avoid anyway. Just always better to stop at a house than an open field. Visit it, and she tells us a little bit about why Marquis Laos is a jerk. So I decide, okay, let's move down to the fort, where I can have even more defense and avoid. That archer is going to be lured over there, and maybe I can take him on with Hector. So we just check. Okay, Hector only takes 6 damage. So we can have Hector smack this guy up in the face with a wolf bale. Sarah can move out of the way, and Matthew can rearrange Hector's inventory so he has that hand axe. Hector unfortunately misses. So I figure, we can't have that now, can we? Yeah, let's figure something else out. So we'll do the same thing, do the switcheroo, move Sarah back to safety, but we're going to use her to manipulate into Hector getting a hit. And now Hector is perfectly poised to finish this guy off, even though he's in a forest. Go, and we get strength and speed, a level up I accept. So I move down, move a little closer. I figure, okay, time for Eliwood to dodge another bandit. But before I do that, let's check out what's in the armory. And I realize, wait, Matthew has a Hector support. I see, okay, there's only iron weapons. Let's sell the red gem, so it's not taking up inventory space. I don't think I need any iron weapons. Wolf Bale's just better than an iron axe in pretty much every way. Yeah, let's heal up, get some experience, and let's get that support. I've heard you're quite strong, you know, but I'm stronger in every way right now. Oh yes. Sometimes these supports don't exactly... These supports really work well in terms of giving those people some character. Matthew's always overprepared. It actually builds off well from his Chapter 11 support. Beginning of Chapter 11, not Chapter 11 support. Yeah. So... yeah, I decide, let's just do that. Let's give Eliwood the experience from this guy. Move forward my chippers. And leave Marcus to manipulate. Turns out we don't need manipulation. Eliwood gets speed, which I'm okay with. Always gonna need some strength in the future. I think, you know what? I could just give Eliwood at least one more level just by having him sit here. I might have to manipulate, but hey. So let's just sit here, take some time, speed things up, dodge, hit, get hit, so we're going to change that. And that's the mission. Just about, yep. Eliwood gets strength. I know, strength? He gets a no damage heal, which I laugh at. And we have it. The nightmare is over. Is that all of them? Woo is right. Well met. But what are you doing here? You wound me. Can't you just greet me like a normal person? You didn't think that I would leave you alone, right? Ah, Hector is just a bro. Hector is best lord. I'm just gonna say it. Hector is just the best friend. Like, it's not his story per se, even though we're playing Hector mode. Like, it's still Eliwood's quest. Hector just tags along. It's like, oh, you're in trouble? You're searching for your dad? I don't care if we're in, like, different fiefdoms or whatever they're specifically called. I'm your friend, I'm gonna help you out. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, we're gonna introduce you to Sarah and Matthew, he does a lot of sneaky stuff. Yeah, I gather information. That sounds like a thief. Don't let it get to you. We need to have people like him. Besides, he's going to be carrying our butt for the next couple chapters, whether you like it or not. I can imagine some of these conversations. But yeah, that's chapter 12. If you haven't experienced the pain that is Fire Emblem Zero base stats yet, this is about what it is. I hope you've enjoyed watching me suffer through this level. Now the good news is, eventually I'll get to the point where my units are stronger than normal, because not only do they level up faster, but they have infinite use weapons. The bad news is that, okay, a lot of Fire Emblems tend to front load their difficulty a little bit, especially newer ones and higher difficulties. This is the epitome of front-loaded difficulty. It makes the early maps really, really tactical. So this is a conversation that I don't know if very many people have seen. Oswin is dead. So yeah. But there you have it. That is Chapter 12, Birds of a Feather. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I definitely enjoyed playing this. It was a very tactical experience, but a very difficult one. And yeah, till next time, this is Mythral Zenith signing out. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again.